Clip charts, marbles, money, bucket fillers, tickets, you name it, I've tried it. After 17 years in the classroom, I have finally figured out what works, and I've used it for the past 6 years. In this video, I'm sharing how I use Class Dojo in conjunction with our class store. Hit the like button and let's get started. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel Vincent and I share tips on how to run an effective and efficient classroom so that you can thrive as a teacher. If you've never heard of Class Dojo before, it is a website and app platform where you can give points to students and you can take them away. What I really like about it is that you can customize it to fit your classroom needs. So you can customize the points to be different amounts to award students for different things. You can only give positive, you don't have to take away the negative, so you can make it work for you. I also like that parents can get connected to it and they can get access to see what their students are doing. You can message parents as a whole individually, so you don't have to give out your personal phone number. There's also a way of like portfolios that you can send pictures so that they can see what's happening in the classroom. So not only is it a point system, you also have that parent communication part of it too. When I first started using Class Dojo, I solely used it for behavior, and I gave points for positive behaviors and I took points for negative behaviors. I still use it for that, but honestly, it's really so much more than that because I use it in conjunction with our class jobs. Students get paid for their class jobs with dojo points. If you'd like to see how I run my class jobs, let me know in the comments below and I'll make that video for you. Many of our class jobs also allow students to award points for positive behaviors as well. For instance, we have bathroom monitors and they choose a student who did a nice job during bathroom break and they get a dojo point. That helps take a lot of the pressure off of me because one of the things I noticed is that at the beginning of the year, I was really good at remembering to give points all the time because you're in that mode of praising the positive, trying to work on those procedures and routines. But then once I started to get in the flow of teaching and every day, I would often forget to give out dojo points. Using Class Dojo with our class jobs helps my students to get points daily because of class jobs. They also get points for teacher compliments, a principal compliment, related arts compliments. I build every type of management and put it all into Class Dojo so they are constantly getting awarded those points. Then what my students love the most is once a month I open our class store and students use their points to go shopping. Most of the items in our class store are different passes that students can use, and I give each of those passes a value. And I do the value based on either demand, things I know my students, that's in high demand and a lot of students want to use, but I also do it based on what's a little bit more difficult for me to manage. So for instance, giving the students extra recess isn't something I can do easily because I have to plan our lessons around that. So that is a 100-point pass in our store because it requires more. However, a shoe-free pass doesn't require me to do anything. The student just takes off their shoe for the day and I just have to have a little conversation about wearing shoes in the hallway and things like that. So it's really not a lot of work for me. So that pass is a lower point pass because it's easier for me. In the next few clips, I'm going to show you how I set up and run my class store.
So this is our class store menu, and this is what I have out for my students to see at all times. It's different than I did last year. Last year I just had a poster with everything, but I really wanted to make the options available to be able to move. So I have Velcro on them. I really have some years, some passes are in more demand than others, depending on the class and the type of students. So I really just wanted to be able to kind of switch things around a little bit of the supply and demand. If it's a popular item, it will go up in price as the year goes on. So I have our class store set up on the back of my closet door, and I just have library pockets with the passes in them. So you can see that it's just a library pocket taped up with double-sided tape. And then all of the passes for that particular reward just sits in that pocket so that students can see exactly how much their items cost, and then they can grab the pass that they're purchasing. I also have a treasure box, and I do also have candy and fancy pencils and some fun erasers for students to buy. But most popular and most wanted are these different passes. And I have all of these passes and all of the signage and everything available in my TPT store. And so I will link this product down in the description for you. So when I open the store, I just put these out on my table here that's right by my closet door. This is just a box or chest that has been decorated to make it look more like a treasure chest. And I was fortunate enough to have a parent donate almost all of our little small prizes that went in here this year. I put out a wish list item for back to school night, and one of the parents donated a ton of toys. And so then I just have a little container for our fun erasers that I have picked up at the Target Dollar Spot and Dollar Tree here and there, and then just a container of just pencils that have also been picked up. And then this is just an old ice cream container that I repurposed, and it just has candy, which was also donated from a parent. You can set your passes up any way you want. You can use any passes you have. You don't have to particularly use mine. But I thought I would just go through and show you what passes I use. There are actually more passes in this product than I actually use in my class store. So our $100 items are the Super Homework Pass, which gives students no homework for an entire week. The Extra Recess Pass, the student can use the pass to give the whole class extra recess. A test pushback, they get to push back their testing day on their spelling test or history test or any kind of test. They get to push it back and they don't have to take it the day that it is assigned. Class Dojo Point Pass means this student gets to give out the Class Dojo points for that day when they see students behaving well. Our $75 is a Lunch Bunch Pass. They get to choose 3 other students to sit at a special table with in our lunchroom. Usually they can ask the other teachers if they can sit with kids from other classes, so that's pretty popular. A flexible seating pass is for students to choose where they want to sit that day for their flexible seating options. Cursive pass is a popular one because my students don't want to write in cursive, but I always encourage them to, and so this is a pass where they don't have to do an assignment in cursive. Computer pass is just 10 extra minutes of free time on the computer. Our $50 items are a morning work pass. They get to they don't have to do morning work one morning. Special supplies pass is they get to use a special or a whole container of different special supplies, kind of like what people might do for a VIP desk. Rolly chair pass is always super popular. I have a couple of rolly chairs around the room that usually is over by our computers, and they get to sit with the rolly chair at their desk. A drawing pass, my students are not allowed to draw when they finish work except on Friday, so they can use a drawing pass to draw when they finish instead of having to do other early finisher tasks. Our $25 items is they can bring a stuffed animal and sit with them at school that day. The Yum Gum Pass, they can have gum in class. Shoe Free Pass is where they do not have to wear their shoes while we are in the classroom. And then the treasure box is also $25. And then I showed you earlier, candy for 10 points each. They are only allowed to have up to 3 per shopping trip. And then $5 or 5 points for a pencil and $5 for an eraser. Last year, I had to run the class store a little bit differently. I could not have kids come to the class store to go shopping like normal. So I set up a digital class store. Now, basically, this signage that I had normally posted, I made a slideshow so that students could access via our class website. And then instead of students coming to the store to go shopping, they actually filled out a Google form and did their shopping online. Then when I had a chance, I would look at the Google form and then go and get the passes and deliver it to them. So these next couple of clips are going to be about how I use my class store now. I use a jewelry container to keep my passes in now so that I can just grab those out of the cabinet and then look at the Google form and then deliver the passes to the students. I also picked up this storage container from Michael's that now holds the pencils and erasers that fit right on top of the candy, so it's all contained in one spot so I don't have to have multiple containers.
I have my Class Store resources in my TPT store, and I've linked that below. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when the video about class jobs comes out.